Welcome students to the chapter number 6 of Fluid Mechanics and Machinery, Centrifugal Pump, Part 1. The hydraulic machines which convert the mechanical energy into hydraulic energy are called pumps. The hydraulic energy here is in the form of pressure energy. If the mechanical energy is converted into pressure energy by means of centrifugal force acting on the fluid, then the hydraulic machine is called centrifugal pump. There are two types of component in centrifugal pump. One is the rotating component of centrifugal pump and another are the stationary components of centrifugal pump. Impeller is the rotating component of centrifugal pump. It consists of a series of backward curved vanes, and the impeller is mounted on the shaft which is connected to the shaft of an electric motor. The stationary components of centrifugal pump are casing, suction pipe and delivery pipe. The casing is an airtight passage surrounding the impeller, and it is designed in such a way that the kinetic energy of the water discharged at the outlet of the impeller is converted into pressure energy before the water leaves the casing and enters the delivery pipe. A suction pipe is a pipe whose one end is connected to the inlet of the pump and the other end dips into the water in a sump. A foot valve, which is a non-return valve or a one-way type valve, is fitted at the lower end of the suction pipe and it opens only in the upward direction. A strainer is also fitted at the lower end of the suction pipe. A delivery pipe is a pipe whose one end is connected to the outlet of the pump and the other end involved in delivering the water at a required height. Priming is necessary before starting a centrifugal pump. So, at first, the priming cock is open and the delivery valve is closed, and then the liquid is poured through the priming funnel until it overflows through the funnel, which ensures that air has been removed from pump casing, impeller and suction pipe. Then the priming cock is closed and the delivery valve is open, and a prime mover, which is necessary to start to cause the rotation of the impeller. Now the liquid from the sump is sucked through the suction pipe at the center of the impeller, and due to the centrifugal force, the liquid in the impeller moves away from the center of the impeller along the curved vanes, reaches the periphery of the impeller and finally flows into the pump casing in the same direction as that of the impeller. During the motion of the liquid, its kinetic head is gradually decreased and pressure head is proportionately increased. And due to this pressure head, the liquid is delivered to the required place. When the liquid leaves the impeller, vacuum is created in it and the atmospheric pressure acting on the liquid surface in the sump forces the liquid to flow through the suction pipe into the impeller, and again the operation is repeated. The applications of centrifugal pump are numerous, but these pumps are most oftenly used in buildings for different purposes, such as for general water supply, provides the booster service, also used for domestic water supply. It supports the fire protection systems. It provides a hot water circulating service, also provides sump drainage. There are three types of casings used in centrifugal pump: volute casing, vortex casing, and casings with guide blades. Now, the volute casing is a casing which surrounds the impeller. It is of spiral type where the area of flow increases gradually. The increase in area of flow decreases the velocity of flow and increases the pressure of water flowing through the casing. In volute casing, it is observed that the efficiency of the pump increases slightly as a large amount of energy is lost due to the formation of eddies in this type of casing. In vortex casing, a circular chamber is introduced between the casing and the impeller. By introducing it, the loss of energy due to the formation of eddies is reduced to a considerable extent. Thus, the efficiency of the pump becomes more than the efficiency when only volute casing is provided. Another type of casing is casing with guide blades. In this type of casing, the impeller is surrounded by a series of guide blades mounted on a ring called diffuser. The guide vanes are designed in such a manner that the water from the impeller enters the guide vanes without shock. Also, the area of the guide vanes increases, thus reducing the velocity of flow through the guide vanes and consequently the pressure of the water rises. The water from the guide vanes then passes to the surrounding casing, which is in most of the cases concentric with the impeller. There are various types of impellers are used in centrifugal pump based on direction of flow and suction type. As per direction of flow, the different types of impellers are axial flow, radial flow and mixed flow. In axial flow type, the fluid maintains significant axial flow direction components from the inlet to outlet of the rotor. In radial flow, the flow across the blades involves a substantial radial flow component at the rotor inlet, outlet and both. In mixed flow type, there are significant axial and radial flow velocity components for the flow through the rotor rope. On the basis of suction type, the impellers are of two types, single suction and double suction. In single suction, liquid inlet on one side, and in double suction, liquid inlet to the impeller symmetrically from both the sides. In closed type impellers, shrouds or sidewall is enclosing the vanes, and in open type impellers, no shrouds or wall to enclose the vanes. Another type of impeller used in centrifugal pump is semi-open or vortex type. Now the lecture on part 1 centrifugal pump is now completed. We'll be back with part 2 very soon. Thank you students for listening the lecture.